What's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over how to grow a brand, a D2C brand in 2022. And D2C, direct to consumer, right? So we're talking e-commerce here. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I can see along the market, and especially with a lot of newer clients that we've onboarded at my agency Bluebrick, we've seen that winning on Facebook ads and winning with paid advertising is just getting harder and harder across the board, right? It's not like in the old days where you could literally just, you could be selling anything really. And if you're really good at Facebook ads, then you can make a quick buck and you can actually be profitable off the platform, right? In today's society, in today's market, in 2022, it's just getting more and more difficult to be profitable from Facebook and Instagram ads and paid advertising in general. Now, why is this, right? So firstly, this is obviously because of the iOS 14 updates. People can opt out of tracking now. It's getting harder for platforms like Facebook to really target people that will buy your product, right? So all these platforms you can see, if you just go onto any platform nowadays, you get asked if you want to, if you give permissions to the site to actually track you and use cookies, etc., etc. So the way privacy and everything is going, it's going in the way of the actual person using their own cell phone and not the advertiser's way, right? So it's getting harder and harder for advertisers to really get people's attention, essentially, right? Now, caveat to this, it's still easy if you know what you're doing, and it's not easy, but it is easy if you know what you're doing, right? So it still takes a hell of a lot of work, but it's not to say that it's impossible whatsoever. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I recently saw a article that basically reported that Manscaped, I'm not sure if you know of Manscaped, but it's basically a men's grooming brand, and they send you a box, a subscription, and you can basically just every month, or I believe it's maybe every third month, they send you products that help you with your actual grooming, right, for a man. So your shaving, your clippers, etc., etc., right? And what I saw in the article was that they reported a net loss of $300 million in 2021, I believe. Now, I might be mistaken on this, but the premise of this article was that they lost a lot of money in 2021. Now, this is a company that has been losing money over the years, and they have like sort of the same growing principle as Amazon did in the start. But losing 300 million was not normal for them, and I don't believe it was expected. Well, it could have been expected, but the reason why they lost all this money is because essentially, if you put it in lighter terms or simple terms, it's because of the way paid advertising is going in general, right? It's becoming harder and harder to market and actually win on the platforms such as Facebook, Google, TikTok, etc., etc. Now, how to grow a brand in 2022 and how to do it the right way, okay? There's three very, very, very important things that you need if you really want to be profitable and grow a brand in 2022 profitably. So the first thing, which is the most obvious thing, is the product, right? You need an awesome product. You need a product that is just, it is mind-blowing, right? Now, I'm not saying you need to invent the cure to cancer and sell the pill that does that. I'm saying you need to have a product that people actually want. A lot of people that aren't in e-commerce and aren't, don't know anything about Shopify, they think that people don't like spend money on products and stuff. People love spending money. Like, people will literally give you their money if the product that you're selling is what they want, right? So, and I'm sorry if you can hear some fan. I'm currently in Cape Town, and it's actually winter, but it's like 40 degrees today. It's ridiculous. So I have my fan on at the back of here. But basically, what I'm trying to say is the product is extremely, extremely important, right? Your product needs to stand out. It needs to be something that people want, and you need to be able to convey to people and show people that this is what they need, right? Now, in the olden days, you could literally sell you could sell a lamp, right? You could sell a shitty speaker. You could sell anything, and it would sell because you know what you're doing on Facebook. But in today's world, the product is getting more and more important, and you need something that's really, really going to just get people excited and get their money, essentially, right? So the second thing that you need after a great product is the branding, right? So your branding needs to be on point. Now, caveat to this, your branding does not necessarily need to be on point if your product is that damn good. Okay, if you look at Amazon's page website, it's shitty, right? It's like the most unconventional e-commerce website in the world. It's kind of weird to navigate. It doesn't look like a really good brand, but the products on there, you're going for the product and you're not going for what Amazon has in the front end of things, right? You're going for the back end. You're going for the awesome shipping rates. You're going for the discounts that you sometimes receive. You're going for the product that you're looking for. Okay, so when it comes to brands that aren't Amazon, okay, just mediocre people like you and me, not Jeff Bezos, we need a really great brand, and we need to convey this brand and make it look like it's actually a legit company, right? People are still skeptical of online websites, etc., but it's not something that, people were more skeptical and now they're not as more skeptical. But people still sometimes, like, I was speaking to a client of mine and they were saying that they don't even buy anything from any other e-com site besides Amazon, right? So what I'm trying to say is your brand really needs to just be, it needs to be simple, it needs to be convey what you're selling, and it doesn't need to be over the top or anything like that. It just needs to be, really slick. And a good example of a brand that really does this well is balls.co, right? Now balls.co, similar to Manscaped, they just sell a balls trimmer, right? And if you go into their website, you'll see how darn simple it really is, right? You just click on there and you buy the product. Now, caveat to this is also a men's product, and men obviously don't want to go through 100 different tabs. They just want to click and buy, etc. Whereas beauty products, apparel, that kind of thing, it does get a little bit more complicated. But what I'm trying to say, and the essence of the second point that I'm referencing, which is the brand, is you got to have a solid brand and a solid messaging, okay? A solid brand. So everything needs to be aligned. Your Instagram, your Facebook, your website, everything needs to be in tuned. It needs to be under the same umbrella. And people need to know that when they come and visit your brand, they're getting the same experience throughout the entire ecosystem within your brand. Okay, so that's the second point. Now the third point, which I have already mentioned in the second point, is your messaging. Okay, now your messaging is not, it might be the most important thing, right? And it also links in with your offer. So your messaging is essentially what people are seeing about your brand, okay? And if you can't communicate what you're actually selling to your customers, then what the heck are they going to know? Why would they buy your product if it doesn't make sense, right? So being able to convey what the meaning of your brand is and what the meaning of your product is and what it actually does for people is extremely important in 2022. And you need to be able to have your messaging so on point that people can literally just read one single sentence and know exactly what your product offers, what your brand entails, and what it is about, right? So if you look at Facebook, you can literally see what is their messaging, right? They connect you to your loved ones. It's so simple, and that's one of the biggest companies in the world. So you have to have a messaging that people can relate to, people can resonate with, and it really speaks to them, right? So you always want to think of the actual customer first when you're coming up with your messaging. And this ties in with your offer, right? People don't want to buy a soap scrub. They want to buy a soap scrub that gets rid of their acne, or a soap scrub that helps them with their stench, or whatever it may be, right? I'm thinking of these things on the spot. But your messaging and your offer are very, very much extremely important into 2022. And if you have these three things down, right? A great product, a great brand, and a great message linked with a great offer, pulling the zap sign at you, then you are ready to basically run paid advertising. And then paid advertising will be a lot easier for your brand, okay? Now, when it comes to the product, the brand, and the message, these three things all link in with your creatives as well, right? So another thing I just want to mention is that when you are running paid ads, in the post iOS 14 world, creatives are becoming, if not the most important aspect of the actual ads, right? So if you don't have a great creative strategy that is showing all three of these highlighted points that I've mentioned, then you are going to lose in paid advertising, all right? So you need all three things. You need great creatives that depict all three things, And you really need a strong message and a brand and a product that is just solving people's problems. Okay. Now, that's about it. I could go on for days, but I can see I'm already at 10 minutes. So, yeah, if you guys want to find out more, then just drop a comment. If you have any questions, then just comment down below. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to post one of these around every single week. I'm going to keep them super raw, no editing, just so I can pump these out. So, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.